So, just a few minutes ago, you were telling me how you look up phone numbers if you need to find a phone number of someone. Why don't you share that with your viewers
Well, I looked them up like I've always looked them up in the phone directory.
in the yellow pages?
Well, if it's a business, I might go to the yellow pages. I had to look up something yesterday, I guess it was. I can't think right now. It was a business. And I just looked in the alphabetical listings and they weren't there. So then I went to the yellow pages and I found them.
And you do have an iPhone now, so wouldn't you be easily able to look them up there?
Oh, I don't know how to do that on the iPhone.
Well, you just go to you ask Mr. Google.
Well, I've never used Google on my iPhone.
It's the same as using it on a computer.
Oh, well. See, all I use the iPhone for, make calls or sometimes receive calls or text. I know how to text.
You do know how to text now.
Yes.
That is progress.
And, I've sent a few pictures and, but then you showed me about, like somebody left a voicemail. Is that what it's called, voicemail?
It is indeed.
And I had trouble getting it. Sometimes I get it and sometimes I don't. And you showed me what to do, but it doesn't really work very well for me.
Oh, I guess you've just forgotten how to do it. Now, phones have changed significantly over the past 60 years, I would say.
Of
So,
course.
back in the day, let's revisit a topic from several years ago that you discussed.
All right.
It was on party lines.
Well, I doubt that. Are there any party lines left anymore?
I don't know. That's a good topic for you to research. Maybe, but a lot of people don't know what party lines are.
Well, when telephones first were invented, they, there was not. You didn't have a private line. You shared it with some other people. And my grandfather said that when they were living on the farm down a couple miles from here, and he was in the legislature, he said they had 13 people on their telephone line, and you could barely get the phone if you wanted it because somebody else would be using it or talking. And he said three of the 13 were stores.
Wow.
And so they got a lot more calls than a private residence would. So he got a bill through the legislature to limit party lines to 8 people, no more than 8 people.
And does that include stores?
Well, they may have changed that. I think the phone company would charge a business more than they would a private residence for a phone.
So let me get this straight. There were 13 different households on one telephone line back
Yes.
in the day. And what year about was this?
Oh, well, First World War time, 1916, 17.
That wasn't quite
8.
your time, was it?
No. My mother was born in 14 and my dad in 11.
So did they have party lines?
Well, I never heard my father speak about party lines or telephones, except I remember when my grandfather and grandmother Richards got a phone, uh, and it was a party line too. And when I was growing up, until I was about 10 or 12, it was a party line, and how you could designate when the phone rang. Ours was 2 shorts.
What is 2 shorts?
Boing, boing. And then like Hazel and Hayward Greer, they were on our line and they had a long and a short, and it went boing, boing, like that, you say.
So you had to know what your sound was.
Yeah, well, that was fairly easy. And you could you only heard, I think, like, say there were 8 people on our line, so we only heard 4 of the rings. There'd be 2 shorts, 2 longs, a short and a long and a short, or something like that. And then, so the other 4 people, we never heard their rings, but if we picked the phone up to use it, then they could be on there, and we would know. When you picked up the phone to use it, and if you heard somebody talking, then you just hung the phone up.
What if you didn't just hang it up?
Oh, a lot of people would eavesdrop and listen. I did that as a kid all the time.
What did you hear?
Oh, I heard, the neighbors or other people that were on the line. There was a family, a black family down the road. They had a phone that was on our line. Oh, well, maybe I've told this already about the baby.
Some people might not remember that story, though.
Well, these two girls were talking, and the one said to the other, "How's the baby?" "Oh," she says, "the baby's fine. Let me go get the baby and put the baby on." So there was this silence, and pretty soon she comes back, and still there was silence, and then all at once you just heard this baby just crying and bawling, and said, "Oh, I dropped the baby."
And you actually were eavesdropping on that conversation?
Yes.
And did you hear any other?
Oh, sometimes if I picked up the phone and somebody else was on and I would listen, I can remember a couple times chiming in with their conversation.
What did you say?
Oh, I don't know. And then one of the neighbors said, "Oh, Mike said, get off the line," or something like that.
Wow. Wow. Did that happen a lot on party lines?
Oh, I expect it did. I'm sure.